Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome in, everybody. Running just a minute or two behind schedule. But at least I didn't get bitten by a camel or arrested for smoking drugs or anything like that. So I've had a less eventful week than some people. Boy, there's a lot going on tonight. At least I think there is. But let me start off by welcoming everybody in. That's right. Oh, I already got you up there. I didn't even realize. Let me see this real quick. Okay. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm going to take off the screen here. Hopefully the audio sounds good. Okay. Welcome in, Nutty. Icy, always good to see you. Hey, enjoy that replay. If you're watching this, welcome in on the replay, Icy. And welcome into you, Nutty. Fiona's mom, good to see you. Lady Nighthawk, good to see you. Nirvana, welcome in. Oh, enrolled University, congratulations. No, that's fantastic. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're learning something good. Welcome in. Oh, already welcome in, Fiona's mom. Welcome in, Spooky Muse. And Olga K, good to see you. Hey, yo. Purple Lilacs, hey, everybody. Jamie Carpenter, good to see you. Our newest, and for a while, I've closed the books. It's like the Mafia. Once they only put so many people in, and then they close it out. Jamie Carpenter is the last mod on the list for now. Because I just have too many mods. The Mod Mafia. Hey, welcome in, Nancy. All right. I think we've got most of you welcomed in. All right, Detective Coach, you said you're hearing me fine. Fantastic. Yes, and everyone, please hit that like button. Let me take off the starting soon. If everyone, please hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. And if you'd like to see more of this content, please click subscribe. So that way, if I ever do another surprise episode like I did this weekend, that's right, maybe some of you haven't had a chance to catch the replay of that one. It was a fun episode. I don't even remember what I covered right now. I've been trying to read up on all the topics for tonight. Got so much going on. I'm going to finally be doing a little introduction to Amy Slaton. Or Slaton, is it? I don't really know much about these ladies. I know they're 1,000-pound sisters. I watched their show like one time a while ago. But I'm interested to learn more. So I found a little mini documentary on the Amy, and it's pretty short. I plan to watch tonight. Preempted some of my other stuff I'm covering tonight. And let's see. Also, Queen Heather. I was planning to cover her because she's back and she's exercising, and I really wanted to cover something positive. But Amy Slaton getting bitten by the camel said, you know what? I got to catch up on these ladies. But first off, let's catch up on Foodie. Foodie is just put up a brand new video, and this is essentially going to be the bulk of the Foodie coverage for today. She goes live. Foodie goes live. I'll probably cover some of it. Depends what she's doing. But unless she goes live, this is going to be the bulk of the Foodie coverage. So let me get that pulled up real quick, and then we can get started. So let me, 1 second here, let me put on the bumper. Now we'll get this screen shared. Oh, and I also had some good fat acceptance TikToks, really cringe talks. And I might cover some of those later, depending on the schedule. But those, some of those are pretty funny, pretty crazy. So I've got a good variety of content. Oh yeah, and Glitter and Lazers did a new video too. It's been out like a week now. I still have to cover that. So there's just so much stuff to cover. But let's get started, right? So let me make sure I got this correct. Okay. Let's start the bees, shall we? Baby, please.
Sing happy birthday or tell me what you want. I'm like Burger King. You can have it your way. Cameos make great gifts and you can keep them forever and ever.
Okay. So this, by the way, just to give everybody an introduction, Foodie Beauty's been in Thailand now a little over a week. She says that Salah is going to join her, which I don't think he's going to. If anybody has an opinion on that, I'm always happy to get that. But I don't think he's going to join. I mean, he might, but I mean, the longer it goes, the less likely he is to show up. Oh, look at this. I just noticed this. There's a no weed picture on the thing. Look at that. Right on the wall over there. It says no weed. Foodie, do you think Foodie is following the sign? Does anybody else think Foodie's might be breaking that rule there where it says no weed allowed? I don't know, Foodie. But she's looking very, very penguin-y with her hood. So let's hear what she's got to say.
I could sure go for some new plus size clothing. I need a new outfit and an iron, but I digress. So, I think we should go.
Oh, let me welcome in some more people here. We got a few fine folks that need to be welcomed in. Welcome in there, Elizu, as I increase the speed just a little bit. I forgot how slow Foodie is when she's not sped up just a little. And 1.15, that's the speed that I mean, you lose nothing at 1.15. And it was so funny. I was watching Queen Heather earlier, and it was the complete opposite. I had to slow her down to figure out what she was saying at some point. She mumbles her words a lot, or she swallows her words. Yes, welcome in, Elizu. Absolutely. Shitting herself on cam. Just think about it. If Foodie has to do that to put on her socks, how the heck does she clean herself? How does she wash her feet, right? Like, there's no way that she could wash her toes if she can't even reach to, like, put her socks on. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Welcome in, Sherry C333. And Save a Nation. Good to see you, Save a Nation. Yes, and Blondie, welcome in. Good to have you tonight. Oh, okay. Thank you, Nirvana. I haven't kept up on every single live. I'm glad that she's at least acknowledged that. But she was probably high when she said it, right? So she admitted it. Foodie is absolutely a lost cause. She is. Yes, please, everyone, if you're enjoying the stream, please click that like button. Oh, and also, while I'm up, let me mention that I do have a Cash App on my About page. If anybody would like to make a donation to the show's production fund, it is always appreciated. There's never any requirement to donate, but it is appreciated, and the link is on the About page. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's see here. Not a chance she's following that rule. Agreed. Oh, that's interesting. Do you think that would actually explain why Foodie's walking around so much? Because otherwise, she's lazy. She would just use the delivery service for everything if she could, right? So this would explain why she's been walking around. Every time she goes and she does her little camera, like, oh, I'm going to walk around and do a vlog for everybody. She's really just going to the weed store, and then she's just putting it on the video, right? All right, so let me get everybody welcomed in here. We can get back to the show. Yeah, she's not covering that. She's not washed her feet in 40 years. Oh, welcome to Denise W. If I missed you earlier. Yuck, right? I bet that bidet needs to be. I bet she has to keep a plunger next to it just to keep it from getting clogged. She's a spectacle in that corner of the world as well, all right? Welcome to Capricorn NJ. Absolutely. Well, won't you help me, doctor? Let's see here. Oh, welcome to Doris Aiden. I was watching something about New York City earlier today, and I was thinking, oh, if Dory sees this, she's going to like it. But I forgot what it was, so I don't know if I'm going to see it. All right, let me just make sure I got everybody else welcomed in. Yeah, it does look pretty miserable. 100 for what? Just to keep it for, you know, I feel like her bidet probably gets pretty clogged up. Dude, does not wash her legs either. Oh, no, I did not hear about that, Fiona's mom. Clue me in. I'm going to put the video back on. I'm going to try to get the volume balanced so I can talk a little bit.
Check out this plaza here in Thailand. And
Krung Thong Plaza.
Apparently made up mostly of plus size clothing. So, let's go. Yellow. Good morning, Bangkok.
Wow, I will say this is a great view of the place. You could see that Foodie is not in what I would call the nicest part of town, but it doesn't look like I mean, some of this looks all right. Like this area in the center here looks pretty commercial, and even over to the right. But when you go to the left, this looks like a real like row of slums over here. Kind of, I don't want to say slums, but it looks kind of run down over in this section of the place over here. But whatever. I mean, it's as long as that's what I mean though about when you're in a tourist area, sometimes the area you're in is nice, but just 2 streets down, it's not so nice. So you got to be careful where you go sometimes.
All right, I'm gonna call a taxi to the plaza. Yellow.
Foodie's in her element, at least, right? She knows where she belongs. Well, she doesn't get paid that much, I don't think, but... You know, when I think about also, like, getting paid, I wouldn't want to live like Foodie, even if she got paid really well. I just wouldn't want to do it. Like, look at ALR. ALR is like Foodie, but paid better, and I would not want to trade places with her. That is so typical of Foodie. She had the AC on like super heavy because she's, you know, it's just too hot there. She can't deal with the Thai heat. She likes, you know, she's saying, oh, it's comfortable because she has the AC on 10 bazillion, and of course it froze up.
I'm treating myself to a more luxurious ride in the Bolts. It's called Comfort Level instead of Economy. It's a little more expensive, like double the price, but today's my day, so I'm splurging. Nice breeze. These are some vendors across the street from the hotel.
Welcome in, Susie Q.
There's a lot of these on every street in Bangkok.
Oh, hold on a second. Who thinks Foodie stopped for a snack there? $24 a day. That's, I mean, I know Thailand is a good deal, but $24 seems pretty inexpensive overall. But Foodie's a Canadian elderly derelict. But Foodie loves to act like she's so sophisticated, but she really doesn't give off that impression. I mean, just, you know, I like when she did start getting some money in, she just blew it all on stupid crap like getting food delivered. Salah's not there, right? Oh, welcome in, Steady C. That is so typical of Foodie. And all right, fine. If it happened once she didn't realize, that's possible. But now that she knows that it's going to freeze up and she's still keeping it down way too low, that's not cool. Salah's not there. The weed man. I guess she could call a weed man to deliver it, but she's not allowed to have it in the room. I hope she's not breaking that rule, but she probably does. All right, let's get back to the show for a second.
It's coming? I think they made a mistake and they gave me a small car, which this is how I'm...
That's a good point. Splurging on a taxi. Oh, how luxurious to splurge on a taxi, right? And I mean, if it's far away, obviously, you know, if it's really far, then you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I still wouldn't exactly consider that splurging to get a ride, especially if you're on vacation. Because if you're on vacation, it's not like you have your own transportation usually. She bought a magnet and a bath bomb. Is that at the mall, right?
I'm sitting. I never sit properly anyways. Regardless, I enjoyed the ride anyways. It was air conditioned, and in the end, it didn't really matter to me. I basically just wanted to show you guys what the streets of Bangkok look like, or some of them anywhere, at least in this area that I was going. It's, you know, different, and some people don't get to travel, so they might want to see what the streets look like. Now, this doesn't represent all of Bangkok, obviously. There are 7-Elevens everywhere, though, but these are just some clips I took from the drive there to the mall.
Oh, is that graffiti on the wall there? Why, you know, why would Foodie show this? This looks like gang graffiti. Like, I don't know how they do graffiti in Thailand, but this looks exactly like gang graffiti does, especially this one right here, this PXT or whatever that is. That looks, I mean, if I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. But that looks like a gang sign. That looks a lot like a gang sign to me. So that the fact that Foodie would put up that on a video, like, why would you put that up? Like, that doesn't make the play. I mean, and even if that didn't have the gang sign, look how like dirty this place looks. Like, damn, Foodie. Like, I mean, I guess I appreciate her putting up the realistic video. I mean, she can only show what she has, right? But man, if this is what she chose to show us, imagine what she didn't show us. Because this place is looking, look how dirty this place looks. This is like a real hood looking spot.
Clips I took from the drive there to the mall.
Thai massage. I wonder if this is like a legitimate Thai massage or what. I mean, the graffiti on the ground level is not making me confident. Like when I see when I see large amounts of graffiti, it tells me that this is an area that's not too. The people here are not keeping it, strictly maintained. I mean, I understand that there's rough areas everywhere, but that's not something I would look for when I'm going on vacation, at least. Whoa, what is that guy doing? Is he like a preacher? Is this guy a preacher? That's all I could think of. That he's got like the speaker. Is he using that to say something, or is he like playing music? Like what's he up to, that guy? I'm usually pretty good at figuring stuff out by looking at it, but I cannot for the life of me figure out what this is. At a hobby supply store. Like what do they sell? Like model trains and stuff? Futaba Hobby Supply? Now that's something I would go check out. Like I would actually be interested to see that. Like it looks like they have like little robot dolls and stuff. That looks actually pretty cool. But what the heck is this guy doing? He's in a little world. There's the bus stop. That's a good. Oh, something, Alicia, I never even considered that. Like, I mean, I thought about it for a second, but that's a great point. Foodie has a $40 budget per day for food. She has a $24 budget per day for her hotel room. Could you imagine spending twice what you spend on your hotel room on food every day? Like, how inexpensive would your hotel room have to be to need that much money? Like, and I'm not trying to flex. I'm not some big spender or anything. But a hotel room in the United States, unless you're somewhere very inexpensive, is probably going to run you like $100 or more. So I mean, if you're in a less expensive part of town, maybe. So let's say you're staying someplace less expensive. You're getting a room for $75 a night. That would mean $150 a day food budget. Could you imagine somebody paying $75 a night for a room who has $150 a day for food? Like, how insane is that when you think about it? She's spending double her hotel budget on her food per day. That is the craziest. That's insane. That's insane.
So I got dropped off somewhere. I have no idea where I am. So I'm using my GPS.
It is interesting for the video. I'll concede that. It's actually very interesting to look at, even though it's maybe it's not always the a good sign, but it is cool to look at. I can agree with that.
Dropped me off at the wrong location. But anyway.
What'd she say? The bus dropped her off at the wrong location? Let me hear this.
So I got dropped off somewhere. I have no idea where I am. So I'm using my GPS. He dropped me off at the wrong location. But anyways, we're an adventure, right? I think I'm going the right way.
The car did look pretty cramped. And this is at least a very interesting part of town. So this video already is pretty cool, I'll admit. More Thai massage. I mean, these can't all be a legitimate massage, right? Like, I know they're probably not all illegitimate massage, but they're probably not all legit. Like, at least one of these has got to be like a one of those massage places, right?
Oh, wow, fruits and things. This is a lovely walkway.
Oh, that's a good point, Denise. He could have been blind. But I'm still interested in what that speaker on his chest was for. What the heck was that thing?
Pretty hungry. I haven't eaten anything yet. Okay, when I find this store, I'm gonna be tired. That's okay. Let's see.
That would be cool if she did that. I definitely would like to see some of that.
So this is the Platinum Fashion Mall. There's a lot of plazas here. The one I'm going.
That's a good point. She needed to buy the extra large car because the regular one probably has multiple people on a bench seat. That's probably what it is. They probably have like a bus or something, and she's worried that if she just gets room on a bench, she's not going to be able to. They're going to make her buy multiple tickets anyway.
Two is for plus size specifically. Okay, I found it. The Krung Song Plus.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, they dropped me off at the wrong place. They dropped me off at the wrong exit. Yeah, they dropped me off at the one at the restaurant right next door.
Here. All right, so let's go in. Decorated with nice flowers. I like that. Okay. Oh, the AC feels so nice. Plus size. This doesn't look too plus size. Maybe, I think they're upstairs.
This doesn't look too plus size. By Thailand standards, I think that is kind of plus size. Foodie is a lazy, lazy person. If she really did get dropped off at the wrong place and it wasn't like her little plan, then yeah, that is scary. But at the same time, I've got a feeling that it was planned. So she didn't really seem too nervous. Yeah, Europe is expensive. I mean, America's expensive too, most parts. Welcome in, Blue Eyes. Welcome in. Foodie's hungry. There's no way that she made it that far without at least getting something to eat. All right, let's get it going.
150 baht, not bad. A lady stopped me and said she had big sizes, but I wasn't really feeling the outfit, so I'm gonna have a look and see.
Some lady stopped her and said she had big sizes. So apparently there's a store that has clothes that might fit her. None of this stuff is anywhere close to fitting Foodie. I mean, and this itself does not look plus size, even by Thailand. Well, maybe a little bit, but yeah, like that's not plus size over there. That's not plus size.
Bring a look around here.
Holy crap, that's big fashion. This is plus size in Thailand. Holy crap. This is what they call plus size in Thailand. Holy crap. Whoever said they wouldn't fit in Asian sizes, I get your point.
Salah's big fashion. Oh. Let's see what their biggest size is. I like this dress. I'm gonna get this black one in.
That's gonna be tight on Foodie.
Size 60. She measured me on size 58.
Okay, so they measured her and they said they have one in the back that could fit her. Well, if they really do, this store is amazing. If they actually have that many different sizes, that's pretty impressive.
Yes, I like it. Looks very light material, like it won't be hot. All right, let's go. Chubby.
Chubby! So the other one was called Big Fashion, and this one for the really big people is called Chubby.
She looks like some cute t-shirts here.
Chubby plus size. Well, to be fair, chubby used to be like chubby traditionally meant somebody who was a little bit heavier, but you still, look good. It doesn't mean that you look bad. It just meant you're a little plump.
Mickey, that's cute. I like that shirt. Well, we're gonna come back. We're gonna look at all the stores and you people, I need that.
Right?
I love those dresses.
If Foodie cut this together, she probably could have made this a good vlog. But I can't talk crap because I just do it live. I'm not much better.
Enjoy plus size. Look at that.
Actually, I will say one thing in my defense. I think that when I do a live, I do a lot of interaction with the chat. So I think there's some value to me doing a live versus producing like a pre-made video. Because I wouldn't be able to get all this great interaction if I just did a video. And half of the show is me talking and asking questions and getting your answers, and you ask me questions, and we have that back and forth. And I think that's a big part of the entertainment value here.
Dress. All right, so I have to do a voiceover here because they were playing louder probably copyright music. So I was just browsing around, but virtually every store or booth in this plaza alone has a lot of plus sizes. I think this is so cute, don't you guys?
I mean, it sounds like these stores are pretty well, like they have extra, sounds like these stores have a lot of clothes in the back. Like this is just a small showroom compared to how much they have. And if that's the case, that's fantastic.
Oh my gosh, so we're arriving at a store called Fat Girls, and they have some cute pants.
At a store called Fat Girls. Look, there's the sign. At Fat Girls. All right, now this is a little bit more like American plus size now. This is starting to get into, this is starting to get actually what I would, this is, starting to be something that is not, because the other stuff
did
not even look plus size. It looked like regular size.
They also have some shirts here that I like. I love this style.
All right, this is a little bit bigger over here, but this is still too small for Foodie.
For modest clothing, I like these long style shirts, and these pants look so comfortable and light. I really should have gotten some, but so I love the stores here. They have like fat.
They're doing the alterations as she's walking around. They're pulling down they're pulling down one of the some curtains off the window.
Girls and all kinds of interesting names for plus size clothing. I love this shirt as well, but they didn't have my size, and that's too bad because I love the patterns. There's even a place called Fat Boys.
Fat Boys. Let's see what they call Fat Boys over there. Fat Boys is 40. That can't be the pants, because that's way. I mean, if that's the pants, that's absolutely huge. That's probably the shoulders.
A place called Fit Fat. Gay Storm.
Gay Storm. She called it Gay Storm. Gay Storm.
Fit Fat.
Gay Storm. She thought like it's not for it's Gay Storm. It's for men. No, it's not. It's not Gay Storm.
Gay Storm.
Gay Storm.
All right, now I've done the shopping. I've spent enough, so I'm getting out here. Plus, it's so claustrophobic in here, so I'm done.
Welcome in, Freedom Deep. Thank you, Nirvana. No, I appreciate it. I just make a little joke. I just like to joke about myself a little bit. You're very kind. I appreciate that. Good point. Yeah, welcome in, Freedom Deep. And welcome in, Steady Steve. I missed your Camps. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, and by the way, if anybody's not aware, give Camps a follow. Go subscribe to his channel. He has got a great channel, and his wife, oh my, if anybody wants to throw up their link, definitely check them out. They do some content sometimes, but yeah, Camps, good to see you again, bro. Missed you. It is. The plus size over there is something you would still find in a regular size here. The Invisible Tea, Gay Storm. Right? No, Foodie, it's a women's store.
My chair, and I'm gonna go relax and have lunch and some shisha. So after the mall, I came to a cafe I like here that is halal. So it's like a halal restaurant and a shisha.
Foodie found the halal, the one Islamic place, the halal place.
Cafe. So I ended up getting some.
All right. Well, first of all, Foodie at least had the decency to show us what she ate. She said it was a shisha cafe there, which is cool. I mean, I don't hate the shisha personally. I just think that Foodie does it, a bit much. But once in a while, I don't think it's inherently like that bad of a thing by itself. But anyway, so these fries, they look okay. I will say this much: there's a lot of them here. Whether I don't know how they taste. They look maybe a little soggy, but there's a lot of fries there. Let's see the sandwich.
Fresh, crispy fries.
Oh, let me do a calorie estimate. That many fries? That's got to be like 800 calories of fries. That's a lot of fries. That looks like more than that looks more than like 2 potatoes maybe.
And a shish taouk wrap, which was actually quite nice. And so were the fries. The fries were nice and crispy, and they had really good mayo.
Well, no, maybe not that much, actually. It was very zoomed in. That might not be 800 calories of fries. It might be like maybe 500, 600, but it's still a lot.
And after I ate, I moved to the shisha lounge and ordered a cappuccino, which was delightful, and I relaxed with some shisha. I really love the environment. It was really, really relaxing. All right.
Oh, okay. Look, all right, Camps. Well, my bad. But anyway, Camps, thank you. Good to see you, man.
Finally back home. I've got a couple of things, but that's about it. So they have a lot of selection, actually. It's like a whole plaza of just like plus size. And I will get more eventually, inshallah, but I do have my Temu stuff as well. But anyway, so first thing I got
Welcome in, Diana. 2 sandwiches. Yeah, a good point. I know if I'm so used to Foodie eating so much that meal didn't really faze me as much as it should. But that was easily over 1,000 calories there just for the meal. And that's the thing. Foodie doesn't even consider that like a meal. She considers that like a snack.
Was this dress? This black one. So I'm gonna try these clothes on for you, but I just want to say, like,
That's
I
a
didn't
lot of
spend more
fries.
time in the mall because I just like I can't do crowded malls, man. I can't. I try. I can't. Like the way that it was designed, it was very narrow and like.
I smoked shisha one or twice. It was all right. Like I don't really, like I don't. I mean, I'm not really much into smoking, but I can see, I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world though.
Inside, I don't know how to explain it, but it was triggering my claustrophobia. So I just got what I wanted, found some things, and got out of there. I know somebody who could shop for.
Thank you, Nirvana. That's such a great point. I didn't even register with me at first, but that's such an excellent point because the whole thing when you're a traditional Muslim woman like that, culturally, it's not common for her to go out on her own. Typically, she would be out with her husband or with a male relative, somebody like that. For her to be out there completely by herself, and it's not like for an emergency or anything. She doesn't even have a reason. Just like, no, my husband's back home. I left him, just here by myself. That is not like a traditional Muslim way of doing stuff.
Hours, like all day. I'm just like an in and out person. So yeah, I got these couple of things here. So I got this shirt. I'll show you in a minute. And I got this one. These look like a lot of
That's awesome, Elizu. Good to hear that. Congratulations to you. And congratulations also to anybody in the chat who's working on their health, whether it's to put a few pounds on or take a few pounds off, whatever it is. Congratulations and keep it up. I was doing really well for a while. I was probably down like 4 pounds, and now I'm back like basically all of it. I gained back like 3 of them, but whatever. It's not that bad. It's just it just is what it is. But I plan to take it back off again, right? I haven't gained. I'm still overall. I'm in a good place, so I can't complain. And Foodie's skin, I don't like to dog her out too much because especially in that weather. But you can see it's taking its toll. If you look at her face, even with the filters and the heavy makeup, you could still see some discoloration and some blemishes. So yeah, that heat and weather is really taking its toll on her skin.
shirts I've seen on Temu.
Welcome in, aka Shaza. And yeah, it was a lot. It was at least 2 servings of fries when you because those were pretty big servings. But yeah, that was a lot.
All 5XL, their biggest size. So let's see how this fits. I like the maroon color. So yeah, I'll be right back.
Sherry, I agree with that. I do, as much as I make fun of Foodie, I do respect the fact that she's doing it, that she's actually doing something, that she's actually going out and making some content. I mean, she usually has Salah to do everything for her, so that she's at least going out and doing stuff. That's something, right? So I respect that. I wish she would, get the rest of her act in order, but at least she's providing some content. She's doing her job as a content creator at least. So yeah, it's absolutely a cosplay at this point. It's a joke. Oh, that's fantastic, Denise. 7 pounds that's excellent to hear. And the inflammation in your joints is much better when you do keto. That's great to hear. That's one thing about nutrition, that it can have a knock-on effect. It doesn't just affect your weight; it can affect a lot of other things too. If you get your diet healthier. Wearing makeup in that kind of heat does not really make sense, because makeup's supposed to make people look better. But when you use it in that kind of weather, it's just gonna melt into your skin, and it's gonna make you look worse. It's not gonna be a good idea. Maybe at least not during the day. I agree. Foodie, she definitely needs more water. She drinks way too much sugar and stuff. Well, I mean, as long as you're doing it in a healthy way, right? As long as you're being healthy about it, then that's great. That's good. I mean, only you know for sure. Like if he, I mean, is he right? I don't know. I mean, only you know. But I mean, as long as you're being healthy about it, then you're doing the right thing.
I'll put these on and I'll show you what they look like.
I mean, but congratulations on the weight loss as long as it's what you want. And this looks like pajamas. Are these pajamas? Because they look like, as pajamas, they look nice. What? She left the bottom button undone. Was that intentional?
So it's a little snug.
Yeah, the bottom button doesn't. The bottom button doesn't stay shut.
But I mean, it's
And the
not
sleeves are too long. She's got to roll those sleeves up or something.
bad. I just don't find it very flattering.
Her fupa is just too big on this one, or her lower belly. It's just. I mean, and I don't think this pattern works for her anyway. Even if this did fit, I don't think this works for her. I think this makes her look absolutely huge. This makes her look even bigger than she is. I think this pattern does not suit her at all. I think this works as pajamas.
It should probably be a lot looser.
Pajamas.
I guess I'm gonna have to lose weight because there's no way I'm going to return it. But I really love how it looks. Like, it's really nice. Like the color, you know, it's just very apple.
Welcome in, Skinny Queen. And I think that's a good point, Nirvana. Welcome in, Skinny Queen. Good to see you. Anybody not aware? That's my friend Sarah Jane, Skinny Queen Reacts. She has an excellent channel. She covers foodie exceptionally well. A lot of other things too. So be sure to check her out. All right, let's get back to the show real quick.
I'm wearing my elephant pants. Maybe if I pull it up a little like this. I don't know. All right, and then there's this one.
Wow, this makes her look. Yeah, this I don't know what you call this. This waist, this cinching at the waist here. This does not work at all for her because it makes her fupa like stick out even more. Is how it works, right? It looks that way to me. And this vertical stripe pattern, it doesn't work with this hood. This black, her wearing the scuba cap under everything just doesn't work because it makes her head and her neck look huge. Her neck and head look so huge that everything with everything looks weird without a collar because her neck is so huge at this point. It's just all of her proportions are so darn off.
Yeah, this one is nicer. This one is flowy. So I love it. It's so light and airy and flowy. Wee, wee, wee.
More pajamas, right?
This one, I like it. I like it a lot. So yes, this one is a winner. It's very light. It's not see-through. I should have got a few more of these because this is more comfortable.
Well, as long as it doesn't become a problem. I mean, if you still have, if you still have some excess body fat, it's having no appetite is not automatically the worst thing. But if you starts to get to the point where you really, where you are starting to get a little too thin, you may want to talk to a nutritionist about it. But I mean, only you know if you're at that point or not. But just keep it, just be sure to monitor your weight and make sure that you're not losing anything too quickly or anything that you don't want to lose. Because you don't want to lose healthy, I guess that's the thing, you don't want to lose healthy body mass. If you're losing, as long as you're still losing body fat, I don't think, it's probably not so bad. But if you start to lose muscle mass, if you start to lose, like if your nails get brittle and your hair starts to fall out, if you start to lose healthy weight, then that's bad.
Yes. You can find dresses there at this place for, starting at usually I see the average for something like this, 200 bahts. So yeah, but I've seen some dresses go up to 1,600. So it just depends where you're going, what you get, and you can always bargain. So I didn't.
She's out of breath again. Foodie is out of breath and she's beginning to sweat. You can see her nose is shiny. For $6, I mean, for $6, you get what you pay for, right? I mean, although the exchange rate in Thailand is pretty low, I mean, I don't know what you'd say technically the correct word is, but it's a good exchange rate compared to the American currency. So I guess Foodie, in Foodie's case, Canadian, but whatever. The point is that your money goes farther there, but even so, $6 seems a little low for a dress, especially with that much fabric. That's a lot of fabric.
But she gave me a discount, So yeah, she charged me 210, I think, 210 bucks, and it was like 280. So, but yeah, I really like it. I find that this color, black and white, goes good with red lipstick.
Yes, yes, that's what it looked like to me too. I kind of saw that, but I wasn't sure if anybody else saw that. But yes, except they have blue. I think there's this blue and white stripe, but it did look a little bit like that. It really did. It's just now we know what what one of those ladies would look like. One of those fundamentalist Mormon ladies if she weighed 500 pounds. Now we know.
I know you guys.
If Foodie ever decides to become a fundamentalist LDS church, Mormon church member, she already knows the outfit.
I want to see me in more colors, but
it doesn't work.
But I did try this one and the maroon one, but yeah, unfortunately, there's like no you can't try things on there. There's no changing rooms or anything.
And Foodie's head is kind of big, but her body has gotten so big that it makes her head look kind of small.
I remember seeing a note on that when I was looking up the mall that they don't have any change rooms, so you're pretty much on your own with, and
she has them, but she doesn't always wear them because she's too lazy to wear them, and maybe it gets too hot, and also maybe she didn't bring that many. She only has, since she's traveling, she might not have brought enough hijabs, and if they get dirty and sweaty, maybe she doesn't want to wear them again. I don't know. I just know that Foodie's kind of lazy, and it's just easier to put on the scuba cap.
Yeah, overall, it was okay. But I just get like really bad anxiety when I go into busy, crowded places. It was pretty crowded. The hallways between the stores are not very big. So if you don't mind that, then, but the staff were very, very helpful. And but
welcome to Crab Apples. Hopefully you're having a great night.
Like I said, the one lady did measure me. I was a 58. The other lady at this other store, I got this one.
Oh, yes, Skinny Queen. That's an excellent tip. I love to share some information about health and nutrition. I feel like we don't talk about this enough. I know Nirvana knows this, certainly. And Mouse Toes, if she's in there anywhere, she probably knows this too. That protein shakes are a great way to keep up your healthy muscle mass, because you got to make sure you get enough protein. And if you don't have any appetite, it could be tough to get enough protein, because chicken breast or beef or whatever, you got to have some appetite to eat that. It's not like eating crackers or something that you can just snack on easily. So to get your protein in, an easy way to get it in there if you're struggling to get enough is to make sure you have a protein shake, and you can add to that also other things for flavoring. If you want to keep the calories low, you can do that too. But protein shakes are a great choice. We could discuss all different kinds of proteins, but most important thing is what you can digest well. So if you have problems with milk, don't get milk protein. But it depends what you can eat. Otherwise, milk protein is my favorite overall. But if you can't have milk, then there's egg protein, there's pea protein, there's soy protein. Those are all good choices.
At the Fat Girls booth, and she didn't measure me, but she said she thought it would fit, and it does, but it's just not baggy. It should be baggy. So maybe it's the pants I'm wearing, I don't know, but we'll see. I'll make it work. And this one, she did measure me, yeah, so this is a 60 and I'm a 58, so that's why there's a little bit of extra room anyways. So yeah, but typically Asian sizes are made smaller, but this seems to be true to size, mostly, especially depends on the shop there, but I just thought the names of the stores were super hilarious. I Love Calories, Fat Girls. I thought they were really funny. It made me laugh. So yeah.
Foodie even said herself a while ago that the chin spanks are one of the reasons she might convert to Islam. I think she said that, or she said I forgot if she said it was for her chins or to cover her bald head, but she said that the clothes were a big part of what she liked about Islam.
But it's very chaotic in a lot of ways. Like if you're not used to the hustle and bustle, like catching a ride, like the store was on a busy street, so I had to just the cab had to pull over for a split second. I had to get in fast, and just, it's very fast paced here. That's what I should say. It's very fast paced. So, and I'm
Skinny Queen, how are you? I hope you're doing well. It sounds like you're pushing through despite a little bit of a minor setback with the medication on your diet plan. But that's great though, that you're still working on it, and you're not, you're just keeping it up, maintaining it. And Queen Heather, I want to cover Amy Slaton tonight, or Slaton. I forgot, somebody even corrected me in the beginning. Slaton, I think it was. Amy Slaton. I want to cover her tonight, but Queen Heather has been working out, and she's been actually doing it for real. She's only been doing it for about 2 weeks, which is not that long yet, but it's been a really good 2 weeks. And if she can keep that up, I have a lot of faith that her program will work.
Paste. So, but anyway, I survived. I'm back in the AC, and I'm very happy with this shirt. Yes, I really like it. They had a purple one. It was like purple, but I don't know. I was like, am I gonna look like Grimace in this? So we can't go wrong with black and white. Anyway, it's very cool because, you know, it's hot here, so that's what I need. So, and this with the Temu stuff, I can't wait to show you guys when I go home, you know. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little vlog coming shopping with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Okay, I'm thinking that we should cover Amy Slaton next, because I'm just really interested. I don't really know much about her. I want to see what's going on with that. And I also want to cover Glitter and Lasers, but I feel like Glitter's not going anywhere, and Amy Slaton is what's really up right now. So let me put on the bumper, and I'm going to pull up Amy Slaton. I have a little documentary on her. It's only about 20 minutes, 15 minutes, so that should be pretty interesting. And you folks can share with me some of the backstory on that lady, because I certainly am not the most educated on her, so I'm going to be learning about her myself. So let me pull up my playlists.
How y'all doing today, my friends? Every now and again when I'm doing a live stream, I've had people jump into the chat and say, man.
1 second here.
Hope is so happy.
When Amy and Tammy Slaton first...
All right, this guy has an English accent, so we should trust him. Right? Isn't that how it works? Okay, so let me make sure I got the channel correct. Sharing this one. Let me expand the window.
First began their YouTube journey back
Yesterday, Tammy went in
Okay, here we go. Let me slow it down so we can hear it. Put it on normal speed.
to the hospital. She has pneumonia and she can't breathe. I said,
Okay, so let me give a little bit of background I know on these ladies. I don't have too much. Maybe some of you folks can give me a little more detail. But I'm aware that that they were 1,000-pound sisters. That was their show. I know that on the show that Amy managed to lose weight. She got weight loss surgery. She lost weight. Then she got married, had 2 kids, then got divorced. The husband allegedly was mistreating her. She left him, and she just recently got arrested after getting bitten by a camel. Apparently, she was with her kids at some kind of a zoo safari park or something, and she got out of the car or something and did some nonsense. She was getting high, apparently. And the police came, and they caught her with the drugs, and the kids got taken away temporarily. So Tammy is the other sister. She was much heavier. Or not much heavier, but she was the heavier of the 2. She did not get surgery originally, and then she later did get the surgery, and she did lose the weight, but she had to get like a tracheotomy. So that's basically what I know. We're going to read your comments as we let this run.
but GoFundMe account. If y'all can donate a penny, nickel, dime. Hope is so happy.
when Amy and Tammy...
So what'd she say there, that she died? She said she has pneumonia. If you could donate, she can't breathe. I set up a GoFundMe for her. Okay, this is Amy here talking about her sister Tammy, saying she has pneumonia and she can't breathe, and they set up a GoFundMe if you can donate anything.
Hope is so happy.
When Amy and Tammy Slaton first began their YouTube journey back in 2014, they were seen by their audience as 2 wholesome sisters who were bravely putting themselves out into the world despite their...
Oh, yes, let me add that. When I say she was smoking drugs, yeah, she wasn't just smoking marijuana. She was allegedly smoking something hardcore, some real serious stuff, either cocaine or who knows what. But that's probably what it was, something like that.
Conventional appearances. However, only a few short years later, that very same audience had grown to hate and despise them. The Slaton sisters would turn their entire audience against them through controversy after controversy, peaking with one of the most ambitious scandals.
Uh-oh. Okay, let's give it a minute. Hopefully I'll catch back up. Is it, let me know if I'm still breaking up. Hopefully I'm back. I'm already okay again.
in YouTube history, a GoFundMe for Tammy Slaton's funeral, who hadn't even died. However, if the audience had simply known more about these two sisters prior to the beginning of their channel, each of these controversies could have been easily predicted. For example, back in 2010, Amy would be arrested after shoplifting an $8 book from Walmart, showing that even prior to beginning YouTube, the sisters were prone to both cutting corners and cheating the system. Most of this information would only become public at a later date, so when they first began their channel, they were liked. The sisters built an audience through their strong family bond, positive attitude, and ability to laugh at their own shortcomings.
We need to lose weight to become skinny.
We don't care if you don't like us, we're fat and we love it.
They weren't exactly
Okay, so apparently, hopefully my mic is a little bit better at this point. So I'll just cut in very quickly. What so far we've been seeing here is apparently these two have a bit of a negative history. And this show here is going to develop into, let me put a link also to the show.
the sharpest tools in the shed, but people appreciated their authenticity.
If I want to say, hey, I'm fat, but don't you call me fat. Why would I want you to call me fat if we're trying to be in a relationship? Come on now, use your brains.
And the fact that they were kind of doing YouTube.
To be honest, Mom, I can relate to that. I don't have any children myself, and it's something where I take it very seriously to be a parent, and I feel like a lot of people, if you have children, it puts you on a bit more of a, you need to judge yourself by a higher standard. You need to hold yourself to a higher standard because you have people relying on you. If you're just by yourself, you're doing your own thing, maybe you have pets or something, maybe you have family, but if you're a parent with kids, those kids need to be able to rely on you as that parent, and that's something that you owe them, and that's something that bothers me when I hear about people like this. And she became a mother late in life. It's not like she had these kids, you know, when she was 15 years old, she didn't know anything. She had these kids just a couple years ago, I believe, a few years ago, maybe longer than that, but it wasn't that long.
For themselves. It didn't seem like they were trying to impress anyone. Love when a girl isn't afraid to be herself. I applaud you. Finally, a real person doing a review. Love it. Keep them coming. I love her so much. She always has such a positive, fun, relaxing vibe. The Slaton sisters would receive their first big break after posting a video titled Chubby Bunny Challenge, which had gone to gain a view count in the millions. However, when examining the video's thumbnail and dislike ratio, it was pretty obvious that it had gone viral as a result of people watching to laugh at their physical appearances.
Tammy's got that forehead thing, and Foodie is developing this. Foodie is developing this forehead, and her face is sinking in like Tammy. I mean, Foodie has another 400 pounds before she'll be as big as Tammy. But, yeah.
I salute this channel for not disabling comments. That takes bravery. I genuinely didn't know it was possible for the human body to lay adipose tissue on the forehead. Anytime I wake up and think I don't really feel like working out today, I just think of this video and it gives me the motivation.
You know, it may not be polite to say that kind of stuff, but that's partially why I watch a lot of this, because I naturally tend to be heavy myself. Anybody who's a long-time listener of the show here knows that. And I've been working on my weight, and I've been holding it down and keeping it healthy for a while now. And when I do lose focus, in fact, I think I've said this before. One of my big motivations was I watched Stephen Assanti fall out of a golf cart. And I saw that and I said, holy Christ, I do not want to end up like that. I do not want to be that guy. And I was pretty fat at that point. And it may sound silly, but that clip, that was the most embarrassing and pathetic thing I'd ever seen. And the thought of being like him was it just woke me up.
I need. It was a similar story with videos like Bake With Me and trying new makeup. The thumbnails were sufficiently horrid and laughable to make the videos go viral. However, despite the hate, the hundreds of thousands of
I don't even know what the Chubby Bunny game is. I'm glad I don't. It sounds like it's a good thing I don't know it.
views across the videos still brought in others who appreciated the relaxed nature of the channel, growing their fan base further. Oh, yes.
Welcome in, Lady Nighthawk and Nirvana. I mostly agree with that. I think that I don't like to see people getting paid to harm themselves in that, but I think it's one of those things where it's tough to regulate because there's not a clear line. You know, the line between where somebody's eating just for fun and eating what they like and just doing a mukbang for fun versus somebody who's got a serious food addiction. I mean, yes, you could say, well, this one person is in bad health, so it's bad for them. But it's one of those things. It's just so hard to where you draw the line. But I do get your point. Yes, welcome in again, Lady Nighthawk. You know, Fiona's mom, I think he did too. But either way, it was still just so embarrassing, the thought of being a fat guy falling off of a golf cart. just the thought of being so physically, just the thought of being so physically incompetent that people might even believe that it was true. I guess what I'm saying is if he wasn't so fat and decrepit, he would have never even considered falling out of it because nobody would have believed it. I don't think I'm being clear enough, but I hope I was.
So cute. Well done on your makeup and ignore all the negative comments. She is so sweet. I would let her put makeup on me any day. All the beauty gurus be like, you gotta do it exactly like this, Kay. And this girl is like, it's your makeup, you choose how to do it. And she did pretty good. I'm gonna sub. However, while a growing fan base would generally be seen as a positive for most YouTube channels, for the Slaton sisters it would end up becoming a negative, as it'd be at around the same time that they begin to reach out to their audience for help in relation to their lack of financial security. For example, after achieving 1,000 subscribers on their channel, the Slaton sisters would set up their first GoFundMe, requesting that their audience help them buy an Apple MacBook.
See, now, I'm okay with people being paid for their work. I think that's a good thing that people get paid for their work. I don't think people have an obligation to produce anything just for free. But at the same time, I think there's a difference between accepting compensation and asking people to basically, I don't know, it feels almost, I don't want to say blackmailing, but it feels like it's crossing the line from saying, hey, if you like the show, you can send a donation, versus, hey, everybody, I really need this. Can you send me some money to get it? That feels more like playing on people's emotions to me.
The goal of increasing the quality of their videos. Now, most of their audience felt as though there was nothing wrong with this proposal. The audience sends a bit of money through, the sisters get a new laptop, and in return the audience gets a higher average video quality, which is seemingly a win-win for both parties. However,
all right, if you want to say it's for a production budget, I guess, but
on the contrary, some of her viewers felt as though the Slaton sisters were abusing their power as YouTubers in comments such as, delete this, you are going to lose all your subscribers. You're a pathetic lowlife that needs to get off your ass and get a damn job like the rest of us instead of mooching off of us. You are disgusting. And if I were you, thank God I am not. I couldn't wake up in the morning.
All right, Ruby, tell us what you really think. Ruby here, blasting these two ladies, and she has a fair point.
As a response to the hate, Amy would shift the blame from herself, stating that her friend was the one who suggested that she make the GoFundMe.
I do not take money very lightly. The whole MacBook thing was not my idea. It was a friend of mine's idea. I didn't even edit the video or anything. But
of course. So it was her friend's idea. She didn't even edit the video. So was your friend going to get the money though? Was the GoFundMe in your friend's name? Who set that part up, Amy?
Video is down.
However, while Amy did receive a bit of hate, the operation will prove to be successful after raising over $833.
Of $10,000? Of $10,000? They set a $10,000 donation goal for a laptop? How many laptops were they planning to buy? See, that's what I mean here. That's manipulative. That's manipulative. It's to say they need a laptop for the production budget. All right, fine. You don't need a laptop. You can get a computer, which is the better deal, a desktop. But whatever. The point is $10,000. That feels like a scam, and it's listed as a medical expense. If this is a correct screenshot, they listed their MacBook as a medical expense. So what the hell is that? Oh, I don't know I didn't know what I'm doing, y'all. My friend did it for me, y'all.
Showing the Slaton sisters that it was not only possible, but simple, to extract money from their audience through GoFundMe, which would become a vital piece of information for the main scandal to be covered in this video. The other problem that the Slaton sisters encountered after growing an audience was that they could now be held accountable for the stories that they shared throughout their videos. For example, Amy would upload a video talking about a situation in which she had adopted a German Shepherd rescue dog before leaving it in a camper van.
Welcome in, Dave Minute. Good to see you back. Hope you're having a wonderful night. And yes, Nutty, that is a great point. For $3,000 to $5,000, you can get a very top-of-the-line computer. Yeah, $3,000 sounds, $3,000 will get you a very nice computer. I don't know what the heck she needs $10,000 for. Well, is she planning on buying 3 of them? It's possible her friend didn't know how. That's possible. But I've got a feeling that setting the $10,000 goal, she knows what $10,000 is, certainly, right? They know that much, at least.
and on a hot summer's day. Now, Amy would state that the air conditioner.
Oh, what was this part about the dog?
Their videos. For example, Amy would upload a video talking about a situation in which she had adopted a German Shepherd rescue dog before leaving it in a camper van on a hot summer's day. Now, Amy would state that the air conditioning was on whilst the dog was inside and that the camper van was, quote, freezing.
The camper has AC in it, and we only put him in there for like 30 minutes. And who are y'all to judge me?
However, when Amy would then reveal that the dog had gone crazy inside and smashed the air conditioning unit just to get out, her audience assumed.
What? What the heck? The dog went crazy and smashed the air conditioner to get out? I mean, what kind of, I mean, all right, maybe that's a pretty wild dog, though. I mean, I've never heard of a dog going that crazy before. I mean, I don't own a dog myself, but I've known people with dogs, and I know they can get into all kinds of mischief. But tearing the air conditioner off the wall to escape, that's pretty crazy.
That maybe the AC wasn't on and that the dog was going crazy because it had been overheating inside. This theory would be supported further.
That's fair. A Macintosh computer is pretty expensive, but that's not what. But there's no way in hell that Amy needed a top of the line computer just to produce some videos. I mean, she's just gonna turn it on and hit the record button anyway. She doesn't know how to do any editing. But either way, even the top of the line one is still not 10 grand, right? So that was pretty questionable.
After Amy revealed that the dog had bitten her quite severely.
Welcome in, Willie. In 30 minutes? The dog busted out in only 30 minutes? All right. Now that's sounding very suspicious now. Yeah, exactly. That's for something that Amy wouldn't even probably doesn't even know exists.
After escaping from the camper van, leading her audience to believe that the dog was all riled up after overheating. As a result of the incident, Amy would state that the dog had been put in a 14-day quarantine.
The dog is in 14-day quarantine. He has a week to go.
However, with the bite mark being so severe and Amy taking the dog to the pound, whilst using the wording that the dog was no longer with her, the audience assumed that Amy had taken the dog to the pound to have it.
So she took home a rescue dog. It went crazy after 30 minutes, broke out, and then it bit her. I'm not sure I'm following this exactly. So then it bit her after it escaped? I mean, yes, you want to say, oh, well, that's a crazy dog. But I've got a feeling that Amy was not doing much care for the dog. She doesn't even care for herself. How the heck is she going to care for a dog? And I'll say this. I was always suspicious of her as a mother. I know that's not a nice thing to say, but I was always suspicious of whether or not she was equipped emotionally and even physically to care for children. And the fact that she was caught abusing hard drugs while she had her children in her possession, under her care, does not say anything good.
Put down, resulting in the popular opinion that Amy was an animal abuser. I can't imagine this woman owning a German Shepherd. Shepherds need tons of activity both physically and mentally. She couldn't even take care of herself, let alone such a strong and intelligent breed. I'm sorry, but I highly doubt she ran after the German Shepherd. You need to be relatively
right? Maybe she just tastes really good. Maybe that's what it is.
Active to own a dog like a German Shepherd, and you need to be trained to be able to take care of an abused large dog. This sentiment will become even worse when, at a later date, Tammy would upload a video talking about the celebration of her birthday at a
Agreed. It's too convenient that this dog, was, oh, the dog was no good. The dog was no good. It's very convenient that it worked out that way.
Gaming arcade, mentioning in passing that she felt sorry for their other dog, Little Bit, who had been left in the hot car whilst they were inside playing games.
I feel bad for a little bit because she sat outside in a hot car while we were having fun. But I did while
These people are so irresponsible. I mean, obviously you can't stop somebody from having children, but these women, neither of them is equipped to be a parent in any way as far as I can tell. If I'm qualified to make that assessment, I don't know if I'm qualified to make it, but I'm going to make it anyway. I'm going to say, by the way, I'm not a doctor. Let me make that clear.
we were at getting something to eat, I did get a little bit some ice water. So I thought about it, at least. Amy said I was going to get her some water.
What a selfish, disgusting bunch of people these three are. Poor little dog. I'm surprised Little Bit is still alive. These events did a pretty good job of destroying the Slaton sisters' reputation. However, as you might assume, it was only going to get worse from there on out, as Amy would find herself in yet another controversy after going on a date with a 19-year-old autistic kid at a local
She went on a date with a 19-year-old autistic kid. I mean, 18 is an adult, but if they're not mentally sound, that's very different.
McDonald's.
Y'all know that I had the worst night ever Friday, and it was a horrible night. It started off good. We met each other. Well, it wasn't the first time we met. Don't think that. I'm not that type of person.
As mentioned in the beginning, the date
Oh man, now that would be a good relationship on camera. Speaking of Cobes, he's allegedly back with Naked and Laughing. There hasn't been any video proof, but allegedly he's been talking positively about her again. There hasn't really been enough to hang it on though.
well, to the extent that Amy and her date decided to book a hotel so they could go and get frisky together, at which point things would start to head in a negative direction.
And then we went to a hotel room. I finally got up and started loving on him. I was trying to give him a hickey because he was a virgin and he never had a hickey before. So I was giving him...
Oh my God. She probably turned that poor young man, probably got turned gay. I mean, that was his first experience with a woman. That's going to be his last.
A hickey, and he was like, quit biting me, and I'm like, I'm not biting you. And he was like, yeah, you are. So I bit him.
After biting her date and assumably scaring him off during the intimate
That is, I mean, I want to laugh, but that is also like the most horrific thing I've ever heard.
moment, he would take to Facebook, posting
Maybe not the most horrific, but you get what I'm saying.
a status written in an ancient hillbilly
Yeah, if he doesn't like it, just, yeah, exactly. He seems like he didn't enjoy this.
dialect, which will receive a response from Amy about the size of his penis. Following this, Amy would go on to upload her video discussing
What? Hey, this is, everything about this is really creeping me out.
the night, where she would completely dox the guy in the comment section with his Facebook page and telephone number, after which he would be harassed by Amy's YouTube audience. In somewhat
Oh,
of a
she did? Now, I wish I had a clip of that. I was looking to see if I can get a clip of that, but I wasn't able to find one. But if I could find one by next week, I'm definitely going to pull it up.
hilarious act of karma, Amy would then go on to get into another relationship, which would ultimately end in separation after Amy's YouTube audience decided to get involved.
I hope y'all guys are happy.
She probably bit the camel first, right? It's karma.
Everybody was harassing. Now y'all see why I don't tell people who I'm dating. Because y'all bully and harassing. And then he don't.
Mentally, I mean, they seem pretty low IQ. But I mean, chronologically, they're probably like 40 something. They look old and haggard, but they're acting like they're teenagers.
And while this would mark the end of Amy and Tammy's reputational-based scandals, it would ironically mark the beginning of what would be many financial controversies, beginning when their audience discovered that the sisters had been receiving government assistance in a video titled Amy's Toxoplasmosis. Amy would explain that as a result of being legally blind, she had been receiving social security payments.
I'm not on disability for my weight. I'm on disability because of my eyesight.
It would
Oh, of course, because her weight is not disabling her, right? She's clearly not disabled by her weight. And what is with this skin? Like this just looks like not washing to me. This doesn't look like any kind. This just looks like dirtiness. Like she's just dirty.
then be revealed later that Tammy was also receiving disability payments for her morbid obesity, which will result in backlash from her audience, stating that they were rorting the system by receiving money from both the government and their job as YouTubers.
These women are just very, very unattractive.
In addition to receiving money from these two sources, they also began to make money from selling merch, before many would claim that this was also a scam. The merch site was suspicious from the very beginning and read as follows. If you purchase Tammy's merch, you'll be added to a private group chat with Tammy. To purchase, head over to the
Thank you, detective.
donate section and donate the appropriate amount, $35 for t-shirts,
Highly regarded. These people are highly regarded.
$50 for hoodies, then head to the contact section and email us with the email you used to make the purchase. The reason that the Slaton sisters requested for purchasers to donate the appropriate amount became pretty obvious. They're definitely scamming the tax system and sliding money to Tammy so she can stay on disability from what it seems. I support a good side hustle, but this one is super shady. What the hell kind of sketchy ass website is this? I just donate my money and hope to God I get something in return? No tracking or proof of purchase? Refunds? No thank you. This feels like a way to scam the IRS somehow. I didn't sell anything. People donated. It got
That might actually be a thing. That might actually be a thing. I feel like that is possible.
worse when fans would come to realize that the sisters hadn't been paying the artists who had completed the designs for them.
She drives, and she's legally blind. Well, maybe it just got better out of nowhere, right? These women come across as scammers, and how do they get so ugly? Like, they're just really like I mean, I like to be nice most of the time, but these people are just so ugly. Like doesn't matter how much weight they lose.
Merch. A representative for Tammy would take to Instagram stating, all people who make artwork don't ask to get paid, but to simply get a follow or noticed by Tammy. Most of the artwork on the website right now was designed by @blank, our website designer, and @blank again. However, apparently this wasn't the arrangement made with the artists. In an article written about the scam by Showbiz Cheat Sheet, it was mentioned that at least one artist has claimed they requested their art not be used without payment, and have since been blocked and have had their artwork misattributed to someone.
So they stole the artwork to produce merchandise. What is it that we're supposed to like about these ladies again?
Else. This artist would take to Instagram
So they mistreat their pets, they scam their audience, they collect disability for their self-imposed conditions, and we're supposed to feel bad for them? For what reason? We're supposed to like these people for what reason?
post reading, I wasn't being unfair at all, just saying how my artwork is being passed off as someone else's when I spent time doing it, and I've now been blocked, yet my design is still up on your website. Not really fair at all. All I wanted was credit for it, that's all. As a result of this scandal, Tammy's TikTok with over 1 million followers, on which she had promoted her merch, would be permanently banned. However, this still doesn't make it the most notorious controversy in the Slaton sisters' history, bringing us to the infamous funeral scam. It began when Tammy, who was the heavier of the two sisters, fell over in the bathroom before waking up the following day without the ability to breathe.
I woke up and I couldn't breathe.
She woke up and she couldn't breathe. How does that work? How do you wake up and you can't breathe? How did you sleep if you weren't able to breathe?
Bad. Like, I really couldn't breathe.
And after being rushed to
I really couldn't breathe. I really just couldn't breathe at all.
hospital, it will be discovered that Tammy had contracted pneumonia.
I went to the hospital in the ambulance, took x-rays, and a couple hours went by, and they told me I had pneumonia and I was going to have to stay in the hospital.
Whilst in the hospital, Tammy's condition would worsen, leading her to pass out for 3.5 weeks whilst on life support, during which Amy would begin the GoFundMe. Now, to Amy's credit, it probably was pretty scary having your overweight, unhealthy sister on life support for over 3 weeks. However, to begin planning for the funeral before she had even died was almost comically pessimistic, which would become even funny when Amy stated that the money was to fund Tammy's triple-size extra-large coffin.
With Tammy being so big, if something does happen, her coffin is gonna cost them more because they have to triple the size of the coffin.
Whilst mentioning that
They're gonna have to triple the size of the coffin, and it's gonna cost more. Well, can't you just get her cremated? I mean, no disrespect, but I mean, is that gonna cost more too? You need to buy more fuel, more. I mean, need a bigger crematorium?
It was on a medical card. However, the amount of money it provided would not be enough to cover the funeral.
She is on a medical card. The medical cards will not cover all of the bills. So this
She's been on life support too long, as far as I'm concerned.
GoFundMe account will be for Tammy's funeral if she dies. So please find it in your heart to donate.
The GoFundMe.
I gotta tell you right now, like, even if she really was dying, I would not feel obligated to donate even a cent. I'd be like, can you give us back some money? Like, now that you don't need it for her anymore because she's dead?
Itself, which would raise a total of $818, read, "This fund is for if anything was to happen to her, will go to her funeral. If she makes it through this, the money will stay there or go to her hospital bills that insurance won't pay. I won't ask, but I don't know what else to do. Please help us, even..."
I'm absolutely down to do that. In fact, Alizu, if you want to post a link to that place in the chat, I will pull it up and we'll definitely run an episode sometime.
If it's sense. Thank you and may God bless you. Now, if Amy had approached the situation from the angle of we're just doing this to cover the hospital bills and left it at that, there probably wouldn't have even been any backlash. However, since she had put so much weight on the possibility of death and people had donated assuming that she was going to die, when she would
At an equine facility, it feels right.
return to the videos a few weeks later laughing, joking, and eating junk food as if nothing had
Have a great time at your exercise class, Freedom Deep. Thank you for coming in. I very much appreciate it. And much appreciate everybody here in the chat. Also, any lurkers and anybody watching the replay. You're all very much appreciated. Thank you for your time. Please leave a like if you're enjoying the show and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this fine content.
ever happened. Obviously, the audience and those who...
Does that thing going through her tongue and her lip, does she have one spike going through the whole thing? Because that is crazy.
donated weren't all that happy, judging from the 85% dislike ratio on the original We Need...
And this is why YouTube got rid of the dislikes. because it allows us to see how crap most of the channels are.
Or help a video. It also didn't help that in a different video, Amy would reiterate that the money wasn't going to be spent on anything besides the funeral.
We won't be spending on anything but the funeral. I just wanted to clarify that. Or I'm going to take it up to the funeral home where it can build interest. Or probably will take it to the funeral home and let it build interest. So if something does happen, we have that as a backup plan.
So when it was confirmed that there was no funeral, a new question had been created. Where had the money gone?
Well, if he gets pissy, then it is what it is. I mean, I'm about as fair as any reactor could be, so.
Amy would state that she had transferred the money to her mother to pay for Tammy's medical bills.
The money that y'all donated for Tammy when she was in the hospital, I gave it to my mother, who paid bills with Tammy's bills. Regardless if that's what she used the money for or not, that's what I did with it. I gave it to my mother, who paid bills.
However,
Gave it to my mother to pay bills. I thought it was for your sister's hospital bill. These women are scammers. Who is it if anybody's a fan of these ladies, I don't want to give you a hard time, but I'm just interested to know what it is that you're a fan of. I mean, because yes, apparently they did lose weight at one point, but aren't there a lot of other people who've lost weight who aren't scammers and who aren't just so nasty in every way? At least her skin cleared up. At least she's not looking so dirty here. Thank God. She was looking horrible before.
but when her audience would ask her to prove it, she'd state that it was her mother's responsibility to provide the receipts.
My mom is trying to find the receipts. But,
We can't find the receipts, y'all.
but if she can't find them, that's on mom, not me.
Then in another video stating that the receipts had been thrown out completely.
I know I've been wrong. I should not throw.
Welcome to Empress Shaving In. We got we're covering Amy Slaton today, apparently because she's the latest flavor of the minute, and but she's been getting into all kinds of trouble, smoking drugs. Her kids have been temporarily taken away, and I wanted to get a little look at her history. I think I make it.
Receipts away, but in my head I wasn't thinking, well, these receipts might come to bite me in the ass. You know, I wasn't thinking that. It was a simple mistake.
However, if the GoFundMe had been done online, then surely she was using internet banking.
Right? That's probably what it was.
Why couldn't she provide a screenshot of the bank transfer to her mother? Medical bill receipts don't seem like something that you just throw away. It was suspicious that she was unable to provide any evidence for the money going towards the hospital stay, especially—
Exactly. If they paid bills, you could get receipts. Receipts are easy to get. And we threw them away. Well, can't you just look up your account? Can't you just call them up and say, hey, can you send me a balance on my account and show me that the bill is paid?
when her audience would notice that she also happened to buy a new laptop and a new camper right after the GoFundMe had concluded. At a later date, Tammy would go on to state that Amy's GoFundMe made her angry as she felt as though she didn't need help.
And when I found out Amy did the whole GoFundMe thing, believe me, I was mad. Cause from one, I knew I wasn't gonna die. And two, I didn't want help. Not the person, the one to ask for help.
The most interesting—
That sounds very good. In fact, if you want to link that, and I'll not this week because I've got too much content as it is. But for next week, I'd love to pull that up.
The part about the whole ordeal is that while most disgraced YouTubers simply fade into obscurity as the years go by, the Slaton sisters have managed to remain relevant after rolling their public image into a TLC show titled 1000 Pound Sisters, on which Amy has since lost over 100 pounds, has gotten married, had a baby, and is looking healthy compared to her early days on YouTube. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Tammy.
Wow, this is crazy how much of a difference the professional makeup does. I mean, they still don't look good, don't get me wrong, but it's like they've certainly like polished these turds as well as they can.
And is looking healthy compared to her early days on YouTube. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Tammy, whose continual weight gain underpins much of the show's entertainment factor. The show just had its third season with well over 1 million her early days.
All right, let's get a look at her as she walks out
on YouTube. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Tammy, who's
Good Lord. She looks like a troll. Like an ogre or something. She really does. She looks like an ogre. And that walker, I don't think that could support her weight. That looks like a walker that looks like the walker that my old elderly family member would use. That does not look like something that could support somebody of that size. And her shirt does not even give her decency. It's not even covering her. And I do feel bad for her in one sense, but this woman is clearly not put any effort whatsoever into her helping herself, so I can't feel that bad.
Continual weight gain underpins much of the show's entertainment factor. The show just had its third season with well over 1 million viewers per episode.
Okay, that was the show about Amy. So that's the history of Amy Slaton that we have so far. Apparently, the news story is that she got bit by the camel and was smoking drugs and all that. You know, I'm not going to do Heather right this minute because I want to cover Glitter and Lasers. But we might do Heather toward the end. Hold on a second here. Let me stop sharing this for a second. Compared to back then, at least, she's lost a punch of weight. Doesn't improve her personality either at the end, right? She ends up still using drugs and not taking care of her kids, which is sad. All right, so let me pull up the Glitter and Lasers vid so we can do the, let me put on the bumper real quick. All right, let me get the vid here. All right, lipedema warrior time. I've actually gotten out of my way not to watch this video because I've gotten to the point where I cannot stand watching this lady anymore. I've just just everything about her irritates me. So I have just kind of tried to stop watching her I mean, I still like to watch her to react, but that is it. Like I just can't take her unless I'm reacting. So this is my first time watching this video, and let's suffer together. Oops, I got to share the screen. Hold on. Let's suffer together, shall we? Oh, for anybody not aware, Glitter and Lasers has been having liposuction surgeries. She just had her second liposuction surgery. And apparently she's had almost 40 pounds of fat and fluids removed. Let's see how she looks.
Sharing my lipedema journey. And that has been a very vulnerable and kind of scary thing for me.
All right, so go back to the beginning here.
So as y'all know, I have been sharing my lipedema journey. And that has been a very vulnerable and kind of scary thing for me. I'm gonna be very real about it. And part of the reason we've taken some time to put these videos out and they're not exactly happening exactly in real time.
You know something, Nirvana? I have to agree with that because I think a good example is like Queen Heather. Yes, she's got plenty of problems, but at least she comes across bubbly and cheerful at times. And even though she's just as big as some of these other folks, she comes across much more pleasant, right? So I just think that there's definitely a lot to say for giving out a good aura. That definitely does have an impact as well. It's not the only thing. Oh, welcome in, Oranges. Didn't even see it in there tonight. Thank you very much. Lurkers are always appreciated. Yeah, she's just so loud and irritating. Exactly. Yes, that's what we're going to do.
Time is because I've wanted to put a lot of thought into what we're producing. And then also I wanted to make sure I was answering the questions I was receiving. So one of the things I've had a lot of questions about is what it's actually like post-surgery.
The queen of confidence. What's it like post-surgery, Glitter? Tell us. Tell us what it's like after. And by the way, I've looked at a few pics of her, and she's not showing her full body here. Her legs look a little bit smoother. So the liposuction itself has seemed to have been successful. But Glitter does not look any smaller overall. Like it looks like, if anything, the rest of her is maybe getting bigger.
And to be entirely candid, I did a ton of research before I went into surgery to try to prepare myself. And that research did not serve me because what I've learned is everybody's recovery experience is going to be a little bit different based on your...
Thank you. Her neck, it seems, maybe she's hoping it'll finally go to her chest. But however she does it, but eventually the fat has to go somewhere else.
Body, based on your lifestyle, based on just a lot of things. But what I can share with you is how my journey went, and hopefully it will help you feel more comfortable or at least more prepared for your own journey. So the first report after surgery, I felt freaking great. Guys, one day out of surgery, and I am dancing.
You know something, now for your Foodie, that's not going to help because Foodie starts at over 400 pounds. But as long as you're under 400 pounds to start, which I'm sure you are, but seriously though, getting a scale is not a bad thing to get. Just don't drive yourself crazy checking it every 5 minutes, right? But otherwise, it's a good thing to have. Her legs are a little smoother, but the rest of her is just as big. Oh, maybe that's part of it name omitted. I didn't even consider that. That would make sense, though.
With my nurse. Hey, so intelligent. It's burnt in my mind. And I don't know how I feel this good, but it's like a lot of pain is gone.
She doesn't know how she feels this good, but a lot of pain is gone. All right. Nothing wrong with if you get surgery and you're in pain, you take some painkillers to help with the pain. I can understand that. That's if that's what you have to do, it's what you have to do. But if you're taking all these painkillers and you're getting all high and dancing around and having a good old time, that's being a little irresponsible, especially when you're going to keep getting these surgeries again and again and again. When is she going to have any time to get away from these pills?
And I feel freaking amazing, and I just want to move. And that was for a couple of reasons. One, I still had a lot of drugs in my body, and let's just be honest about that. You don't just magically not have anesthesia anymore when they stop putting it in your body. It does linger for a little while. Additionally, I went into surgery with a
I am always in favor of people wearing all the appropriate undergarments.
lot of pain. I was kind of limping.
Men and women.
When walking, when I went into surgery. So having a lot of that fibrosis removed from my knee actually made my pain post-surgery less than it was.
Okay, because they removed the fibrosis from her knee? How does that work? The fibrosis from her knee? So she wants to say that because they removed some fat from her leg, now her knee stopped hurting? That makes absolutely no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. None. That makes no sense. We removed fibrosis from your knee? Huh?
Was going into surgery. And what was really wild is I felt that almost immediately. The flexibility of my knee was greater. So I think it made my first 24 hours just like really great because my pain tolerance was basically accustomed to something much more unbearable. So the pain I was feeling was like, nothing.
Yeah, she's so tough. That's what it is. She's just so darn tough. She's so used to so much pain. Like the pain that would normally cripple somebody else, that's no big deal for Anna because she's just that tough. And so when they took away that excruciating pain that she lives with every day, which is no big deal for her, but when they took that away, she just wanted to dance for joy because, the rest of you folks wouldn't know what it's like to have that much pain and just have it all removed that quickly when they removed the fibrosis from her knee. Huh?
One thing that they kind of prepare you for is that the first 48 hours past your surgery, you need help. Now that either needs to be a friend or a family member, or you can hire a CNA to kind of help you with everything. I chose a nurse and I'm very glad that I did. Now in the first 48 hours, I leaked.
She's doing, every time she gets surgery, she's doing this, she's turning it into a vacation where she hires the nurse to come and get her ice cream so she could lay in bed for 3 days taking pain pills.
A lot, and especially in the first 24. Like there were times where I just sat on the bed and water just gushed out of me. One of the things that was very
That's beautiful, Glitter and Lasers. And I'm sure she's telling us only because she has to. No, she's telling us this because she wants us to know how horrible it was. But she's so tough, it was no big deal for her.
Hard for me in the first 24 hours is that water just gushed out of me. One of the things that was very where I just sat on the bed and water just gushed out of me.
Water just gushed out of me.
There were times where I just sat on the bed and water just gushed out of me.
That is just such a clip.
Like there were times where I just sat on the bed and water just gushed out of me.
If any of you remember anything, if you remember Anna for anything, remember her for this.
There were times where I just sat on the bed and water just gushed out of me.
She's not talking about after surgery.
One of the things that was very hard for me in the first 24 hours is that I could not be alone. There was someone kind of watching over me all the time. When I had to get up, if I had to go to the bathroom, I could not go to the bathroom alone. I had to have someone help me to the bathroom.
Is she talking about after surgery or normally? Because I'm not really, I think she's trying to act like this is only because of the surgery. I think she just wanted somebody to help her use the toilet. She's like, yay, you can have somebody help me go to the potty.
And that's just because I'm a fall risk. I have a lot of stuff in my
You're always a fall risk. What is?
body. I'm leaking.
She's leaking. Well, you're going to be leaking in the toilet.
You just have to make sure you're safe. With that, I also did a lot of movement in the first 24 hours. When I shared this on Instagram, a lot of people
Hope that was a while ago, Nutty.
reacted like, oh my goodness, you should be resting. And actually, no, you should not be resting. You also shouldn't be running a marathon. But in the first 24 hours and really through the rest of your recovery, movement is really important.
She probably had terrible knees from all that lunges that she used to do, all the running that she claims to have done. But the only thing wrong with her knee, as far as the liposuction correcting it, was the fat that was hanging over the front of it. I don't think that was causing pain. I don't see how that could cause pain. Like a lump of fat, I mean, I guess the weight could cause pain, or maybe the pressure on like the skin, pulling the skin too tight. But just having fat is not inherently painful. If that was the case, everybody's boobs would hurt, right?
And that's low impact, simple movement like walking. For me, we ended up putting on some good tunes. And because I was leaking, it was really difficult to like go for a walk, especially that first 24 hours, you're just leaking a lot. So we just put on some tunes and I stood literally over a pad and I just did this shuffle back and forth, which was like walking, but also like dancing. So whatever.
So she was dancing because she had to. She's just so quirky and unique. She was supposed to keep moving, so she turned it into a dance.
The music was, I just kind of danced to the beat. And honestly, it was fun.
No, Glitter, you may have danced, but no way in hell did you dance to the beat. You have absolutely no rhythm.
24 hours after surgery, you get your first manual lymphatic drainage.
We're going to get our manual lymphatic drainage. And that is where they basically help your lymphatic system process all the inflammation so it can...
Thank you, Nirvana. She's claiming all of this fluid's leaking out of her, but these sheets don't look dirty or soiled. I mean, did they change the sheets over in the middle of the night? I mean, where did all this fluid go? I mean, I guess they did change them. She has a full-time nurse, but you'd think there would be some evidence of all this disgustingness.
Naturally just like come out of you.
Ready? Ready?
Hopefully. I feel fantastic.
That's good. I like that. Yeah. And I like.
Thank you. If she's a fall risk, why was she doing all this dancing without standing next to something that she could hold on to if she fell? If she's a fall risk and she's supposed to keep walking, why didn't they have her do some walking next to, what do they call those things? Those poles they put on the wall that you could hold on to? Why didn't they have her next to something that she could hold on to if she fell?
That you're drinking.
Oh, we are 2 liters in today.
Oh, awesome.
Did 3 liters yesterday.
That is awesome. I love it.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Elizu. No, I get what she's saying. I get what you're saying. I mean, her doctor calls every part of all of her fat, he calls it all fibrosis. He says this is all fibrotic tissue here. I think they have a very loose definition of fibrosis in that clinic.
Who you guys just met.
Hi.
And she's going to be doing my manual lymphatic drainage. She's going to help like activate my lymphatic system and help me process all the extra juicy that's inside of me. So it's going to get a little...
She loves talking about all the juices inside of her. Look at how the nurse is cringing. Look at her. We talk about Anna being the queen of cringe. Pearl Domingo here is cringing. She's cringing for us. This is thank you, Pearl. You know what we all talk about. Let's go back and watch it again. So let's look at Pearl's face as Anna describes her situation.
It's going to help like activate my lymphatic system and help me process all the extra juicy that's inside of me. So it's going to get a little nasty.
Look at her face. She slowly starts to cringe as she realizes who she's dealing with.
I've been a nasty girl, but it's going to make me feel fantastic. I already feel really great. So,
right, which is awesome.
Like, I'm living my best life. That's where I'm at right now.
Yes. It's a whole new beginning.
Look at those eyes looking at her. Pearl is not impressed.
Well, I think it's because I was in a lot of pain before. So whatever I'm in right now, like, is not comparable to like what I was previously.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole change for
like
those frames are a joke. Those frames that she uses. She gets those giant frames. They look like those glasses that you would put on a giant teddy bear. You know what I mean? Like if you had like a giant Donald Duck wearing glasses, those are the glasses you would put on it.
Over the next kind of like 4 days, that's how I lived, right? Get up in the morning, go to MLD. Sometimes I would have bandaging, sometimes I don't. And I'm going to be doing a whole video on bandaging, so I'm not going to talk on it right here.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense then. That makes
up,
sense. The pee pads seem like a good idea.
Go for a walk, go to MLD, come home and sleep, go for another
Yes, thank
walk
you.
if I-
Rails. My brain was not working there for a moment. Yeah, I think I guess you'd call them rails. Just those things like they have in the handicap bathroom. They have those rails on the wall. In a hospital bed or wherever she was staying, you think they would have something like that nearby that she could hold on to if she
could, but I was making sure to eat regular meals and just drink so much water. And honestly, if you want to recover,
Well, I'll admit I'm not an expert on what's on fibrosis. I suppose that some of it may have. The doctor called everything fibrosis. Chances are it's probably a mix. There's probably some fibrotic tissue in there. It's probably just some healthy fat. But only he knows for sure, I guess.
well, that would be the one thing I would say is just drink as much water as you possibly can. It will feel like too much. It is never enough.
All right, that sounds reasonable to me too.
So we had some big firsts this morning. I took Data for a walk, which was really nice. And now I'm going to go eat breakfast out of the hotel room, which I've been literally...
Agreed, Nirvana. She went on a walk with her dog. I mean, first of all, it's good if she's being active after the surgery, and that's a good thing, that's great. But like a lot of us have pointed out, this seems to be performative, and it also seems to be based upon her taking a lot of pills. And going downstairs for all-you-can-eat breakfast, that doesn't seem like a smart idea when you're getting liposuction.
Really living in that for the last couple days, and I'm over it. So I'm gonna go try to rejoin society and have a delicious breakfast, but still drink my electrolytes because I'm not allowed to have any fun juice. I miss coffee. Okay, so
She's drinking your electrolytes because she's not allowed to have any fun juice. Does she mean coffee or does she mean whiskey?
done it. I've come down to breakfast and I am sitting upright, like in an upright position for the first time in 3 days, and it feels actually really good. So I'm gonna try to do more of this. I might try to clear up that bench in the room and try to like sit in the bench and work, which is sad, but you know what? It's something to keep me upright, but I feel good. I feel really good.
After I kind of got through this process,
That's a good question, Oranges. I don't think Anna will, because Anna hasn't actually lost any weight. So I don't think she can get loose skin unless she loses some weight. But if she lost weight, she could get loose skin.
got to the point where A, I could care for myself, and B, I was ready for my first shower. Showering for the first time, it is a whole thing. That is the easiest way to say it, it's a whole thing. First of all, you've been in compression for 24/7, and anytime you've been out of it, you've been with nurses who are helping you in and out of the garment, okay? You are a faint risk. And probably the most common thing I see post-surgeries that people talk about is fainting, taking off
Yeah, right? She likes to mix it.
the garment for the first shower.
What was that?
Luckily,
About the
I
first
was
shower?
prepared.
No wonder her hair looked kind of dirty.
Probably the most common thing I see post-surgeries that people talk about is fainting, taking off the garment for the first shower.
Sounds a little bit scary, actually.
Luckily, I was prepared for this and I knew how to do it so I wouldn't faint. So I'll just tell you what I did. Hopefully it'll work for you too. First, drink a whole bunch of water 2 hours before you actually plan to shower. A lot of the fainting risk is due to dehydration and also changes in blood pressure, and you can just help yourself mitigate that by drinking a lot of water. When I took my garment off, I took it off slowly and I immediately laid down. I did not go directly to the shower. I laid down for about 10 minutes to let my body just stabilize.
Okay, this is confusing. So she drank extra water and she had to drink water and wait 10 more minutes before taking off. Like, I mean, I guess, but just seems like, wouldn't you be drinking a lot of water anyway? I mean, either way, it just sounds kind of, I mean, if that's what you're supposed to do, it's what you're supposed to do.
And not having the garment on. Once I had been rested for about 10 minutes, I then went to the shower. I showered in cold as hell water, like as cold as you can possibly get it. If you're not screaming when you get under the water coming down, you're not doing it right. A, it's
As
gonna
cold as the depths of Anna's soul.
keep you awake. B, it's going to work with your lymphatic system, not piss it off, because hot water really can make your body angry. And you'll see often with autoimmune disorders, like bathing in cold water is ideal, right? So took the shower in cold water, immediately went back to bed, immediately went back and laid down. I did not try to put my garment on right away. I dried off in bed, laying down, prostrate like this, drinking water.
Just drinking more water. Okay, that's good. That's good. This part of it sounds believable, at least.
Drink the water. Always the water.
I mean, I could believe Anna took a shower. I mean, I guess, eventually I could believe she eventually took a shower and then drank a bunch of water and laid in bed. That's not out of the realm of possibility.
And then once I was dry and I felt okay, like I hadn't expended too much energy, I sat and put my compression garments on to my knees, rested again, then pulled them all the way up. Then, you know what I did right after that? I rested some more. So the key to not fainting is just very slowly going through the process. As you heal, this actual procedure isn't...
Key to not fainting. I'm interested to know, though, what causes the fainting, though? Is it blood pressure? Is it pain? Like, why do you faint? Like, I'm interested to know why she would experience fainting. I mean, if she explained it and I missed it, maybe somebody could mention it in the chat. But I don't think I caught why you would faint after the surgery. Like, what causes that precisely?
Necessary, but in the first 10 days, if you're going to shower, this probably is what you should do. I took my first shower at day 4, and I followed the same strategy when I showered again, I think on day 7 and day 10. After day 10, I no longer kind of followed all this protocol.
After day 10, she quit showering. She's like, okay, that's it. We got, I think I've done this enough.
One thing I'm going to definitely do different in my next surgeries is prep my bed before I go. Because it's really hard when you push yourself on, your first airline travel, which does like make you swell, to come home, be tired, be sore, be exhausted, and then also have to put together your bed. A typical bed preparing, if you're still leaking, is a plastic sheet and then using different pee pads on top.
Okay, so that's what she had to use. Okay, well, that adds some more believability to her story, but I'm surprised she didn't mention that part earlier because she was talking about leaking all the fluid. I mean, it makes sense to say, hey, be sure to put some pads down in your bed before you do anything else because you may have some drainage.
I leaked for about 2 days after when I came home. Some people leak for a very long time. Some people heal very quickly. It just depends on your body. One of the hardest things that I would say you need to do, and you need to do this well before your surgery, is to find a massage therapist with the right credentials to actually do your bandaging and your MLD therapy after. I luckily found an amazing person, Leah from Love Lymph Club. If you don't follow her and you want to learn about lymphatics, she's amazing and I absolutely adore her. And has really been an amazing part of my journey this far.
And she lets you put your foot on her chest.
So finding that before and making...
I mean, if that's a normal thing for massage, all right. But that just seems like kind of awkward. Like, wouldn't it be better to have like a little stool to put her foot on or something instead of having to letting her put her foot right on your chest like that? I don't know. That just feels weird.
You get on their calendar. I would do it as soon as you have the surgery date, honestly, because there's far more demand for these services than there are actual practitioners, is what I found. So just get on that calendar as soon as you can. One thing I didn't know about the bandages, because my bandages did not fall down while I was recovering in the first week, is when they fall down is when you can change your garment. So I had a literal panic attack the first time my bandages fell because I was like, what is going on? And Leah was like, no, don't stress. That just means it's time for you to switch back into regular compression.
She had a literal panic attack when her bandages came off, even though she spoke to a nurse. It sounds like her nurse was actually present at the time. Everything's a crisis with Anna.
Additionally, I was supposed to walk, but not too much, which is also a hard thing.
She's supposed to walk, but not too much. That's a hard thing for her because she just loves to walk so much. She's just so active,
Right? Like, I'm used to walking a lot. It's an important part of my day.
Yeah,
so
she loves to walk. She's always so active, and the doctor told her not to walk so much, and so but that's really hard for her because she just loves to be so active and walk a lot,
I was literally having to schedule quarter-mile walks 4 times a day, and I'm going to tell you what, it's just not very fulfilling. I'd rather just do a mile walk,
right? Like anything less than a mile just doesn't even. It's like, what's even the point? Don't even. It's not even gonna. She doesn't even get out of bed for less than a mile.
Or 2 miles walk.
2 miles, right? At least 2 miles. If she walks 2 miles on a daily basis, isn't a 5K only like 2.5 miles? So why was it such a big deal for her to do a 5K if she walks 2 miles every day? Can somebody explain that in the chat? Because I'm not a runner. How does that work? If she can walk 2 miles daily, regularly, how come she could barely finish a 5K after a month of practice?
The point is that you're trying to get your lymphatic system moving every time you walk. And if you're doing it just once a day, well, then you aren't getting as much of that movement because you're only moving it once a day. So it's better to do multiple short walks than one long walk. So we're going to take a walk. This is both my favorite and least favorite thing I do.
As much as I hate to say anything that could be construed as positive about Anna, if I had to be one Anna or Foodie, I would kind of have to choose Anna. But that's only because who wants to be Foodie? Come on. Like, right? Like, yeah, that's a devil's bargain.
Each day because it feels good, but also it's so hot. So this is where I walk, and I love it because it's got all these wildflowers. So even though it's hot and terrible, at least I get to look at something
They'll stick with a bottle. They're going to sit on her back and hang it in front of her face.
pretty while I'm doing it. Plus, Data loves this because it's like a sniff safari.
A sniff safari. He doesn't have to leave home for that, Anna. But I'm going to say, you know what I have to say, though, about Anna getting on this trail? Good job getting out there.
He walks slow so I can keep up, and I think it's the cutest thing ever. It's okay, buddy. You can go ahead.
Week 4 is where you kind of get your life back. But what kind of sucks for me is I know I'm going back into another surgery, right?
Yeah, it sucks for her to know she's going to have to go back in for yet another surgery, get more fat removed, get more painkillers, get waited on hands and foot by a nurse, have to get all that attention, have to get all that sympathy online. I hate it so much.
So I don't really get to resume everything because I also need to prep and prepare for the next surgery. So that means not pushing myself too hard that I get sick or that I'm not in the best physical shape for my next surgery. But what I did choose to do during week 4, which I think was really, really smart, was to find creative ways to move, right? To start introducing movement that maybe had been off limits due to the intensity or the length before. But
The thing is about Anna, though, I believe Anna's getting surgery, but I don't believe Anna's taking any real steps to help herself because she's had liposuction. She's had, in her own words, like 30 plus pounds of fat and fluid removed, but she's actually gained weight somehow. So I don't think she's really making any real effort. I think she just has better production values. You know, I think she's better at portraying a lifestyle than Foodie is, but I don't think she's living that lifestyle that she portrays, at least not to the extent she portrays it. That's my belief.
Ways that still met my protocol. So I started finding fun places to walk, things like the mall, Michael's, Costco, Walmart. And you know what? You can wait.
The dancing she does it's always, you notice there's never any music going on when she's dancing, or there rarely is music because she never dances to any kind of a beat. Anna has absolutely no rhythm. She doesn't have any sense of timing, and if there's music on, it's like the music is her enemy. She's doing everything she can to get away from the beat.
Waste a lot of time and walk slowly and see lots of weird things that you don't need and then subsequently buy because, again, you're emotional.
That's a good point. If the heat is really bad, the dog should not be walking around on the heated up ground.
And you don't have the same self-control you normally have. And that became really fun for me. I also loved when my incisions healed because then I was able to go into the pool. Did I have to wear compression under my swimsuit? Yes. But being in the pool was the most magical thing for me because it felt like getting a piece of what I love most back. And really one of the reasons
to explode away the dirt, explode the funk away.
Doing these surgeries is to be able to be outside and explore nature more. So it's not exactly what I wanted, but it gave me the ability to.
Agreed, Net Detective. She should, it's important to take it easy. You don't want to work out too hard. So, I mean, there's a balance. You want to get exercise, but you don't want to stress your body unnecessarily. So there's like a range that you want to stay within. So I agree with that.
Be outside.
Welcome in, Net Detective, by the way.
And I did feel like a massive mood shift when I could be in the sun again. Around 4 weeks, I found myself like a lot more mentally clear as well. So a lot of that fuzziness that I had before kind of started to, dissipate. And I also found myself thinking of ways to like sustain what I'd done. So I started looking into more like conservative treatments and things like that. So I got one of those vibration boards. I got a trampoline. Obviously, nice. I'd been on a waiting list for a tactile pump, which is like the big pump.
She got a trampoline. First of all, I hope she doesn't have downstairs neighbors. Number 2, I cannot imagine there's a trampoline rated for her weight. I just can't imagine it. If there is, it would have to be massive.
It goes on your leg.
I mean, it's good that she's getting these compression treatments and all this, but why didn't she do any of this before getting surgery? I mean, she claims that she did, but we've never actually seen her do any of this stuff till now.
and mimics MLD that you use every day. So I got fit for that.
Oh, oranges. That's an excellent point. I didn't even consider that. She's wearing all these pads because she's leaking fluid and she's getting into the pool? That cannot be sanitary. That cannot be safe and sanitary. She should absolutely not be in the pool if she has all those open wounds.
Really facing the fact that my lifestyle for the rest of my life was going to have to change. That was really positive in some ways, but also very difficult. And I think, I'm going to be honest, I was a little delusional. I went into surgery with the mental thought that once all the surgeries would be done, I would be magically healed and I would not have to do all of the things I was doing previously. And
all the things she's doing previously. So now Anna is rewriting history. Anna is rewriting her history. She is now the lipedema warrior. She has been the lipedema warrior for years now. She has been betrayed by her body. She has no burnable fat, you see. And she has been doing these kind of compression treatments, these so-called conservative treatments, wearing the compression garments, wearing the pump, doing all those things for her lipedema because she cares so much about helping herself. No, don't let her fool you. She has not started doing any of this stuff until after getting the surgery. At least she has never had any evidence of any of it until now.
that is just not the reality. So kind of that 4-week period, I started making plans for long-term care, what I would need to do, what I would need to invest in. And I want people to realize that that is a very emotionally difficult journey. I don't think I can do it justice in this video, but I think when you get the diagnosis, you hear about surgery and you think that's my magical solution, but it is literally only the beginning of how your life is going to have to change in managing this. And I was doing other conservative treatments before. I know I didn't always share it on camera, and there was a reason I didn't share it on.
Yeah, she didn't share it on camera, folks. She was doing it. Trust it. Just trust me. She was doing it. She was absolutely doing it, just not on camera. Because she puts her entire life on camera, but not that.
Camera, and I don't really give a crap what anyone says about it, but the reality is I wasn't comfortable being the poster child for lipedema. I knew
she wasn't comfortable being the poster. She was comfortable being the workout queen. She was comfortable being the diet queen, but she wasn't comfortable being the treatment program for lipedema. I don't buy this. I don't buy this. Anna is the queen of cringe. She has no shame. There's nothing she won't do if she thinks she can make $1 doing it. I think the only reason she never bothered to do this lipedema treatment is 1, because she was lazy, and 2, because she had no sponsorship deals.
As soon as I started talking about how I treated it or lived with it or how it affected my life, that I would get a sticker slapped on my forehead. I did not feel informed enough to educate people. And I just felt overwhelmed with the condition itself. I have many, many clips over the years of literally me crying, begging John to turn the camera off because I hurt, because I've swollen. I have videos of me bandaging my leg in a hotel, which was 3 years ago in Hawaii because my leg swelled. That also happened in various other places. So
this is not the same thing as actually doing these treatments for years. Getting your leg bandaged once because it was swollen up. I mean, your leg is going to swell every time you go on the plane because you have high blood pressure, and I think you also have lymphedema as well as lipedema. We forget that. But Anna also has lymphedema to an extent, I believe, or at least she has in the past. She's had various kinds of swelling. But just because she's experienced pain does not... She wants to talk, but okay, fine. If you have all this stuff, then show it. But I don't think it's going to show what she wants us to think.
I've been traveling with compression. I have been doing a lot of these things for a while. And I would say not everything, clearly not everything, because there's a lot of things I've had to add. But I think Anna has some things going for her. I think the fact that she's tall, if she lost the weight, I think she'd have an okay shape. But she's just so darn big that, but more importantly than any of that, we always talk about personality and things like that. To me, Anna could be the most beautiful woman in the world, and I would still not be able to spend 2 seconds with her. I can deal with these things. I've been doing them for years, but to know that even the compression and the bandaging and the socks and the changes in my diet and, the Wegovy, which helped with inflammation for me, that was still only 25%. Having to deal with all of this with the added pressure of people having a ton of opinions about my choices, my journey, what I have and have not done, it sucks. Frankly, it sucks. But I believe educating people on this journey and educating people about this condition is important.
Anna says, oh, it sucks so bad. But this is how you make your living, Anna. Don't complain. You make a living doing this. If this was your private videos and people were pulling them up to watch, and these were just your personal videos and you made no money from them, I would have a lot of sympathy for you. But you're the one who posts these videos. You want to get as many views as possible, and you do everything you can to monetize your audience feeling sympathy towards you. You do everything you can to make yourself look like a victim of so-called haters so that you can get sympathy bucks from the audience, buying your various things that you sell. And I don't know. Maybe I'm off topic at this point, but I just don't like Anna now. I've had enough of this lady. She bothers me. She feels very fake and fraudulent, and she's portraying a very unhealthy lifestyle.
Because I am stage 4. That is bad. And I hope that I can help women who are in stage 2 get treatment before they have to deal with all the bullshit I have to deal with. Because candidly, if I had dealt with this 10 years ago, I may not have to do all these extra things. But now my life and my abilities are going to be diminished. And that is a hard thing for me to swallow. I am still holding out for the
That'd be the first thing you ever had trouble swallowing.
fact that maybe I have some miracle recovery, but I may not. And that's because I didn't deal with it sooner. And I also am very aware that because of the way healthcare works in not only the US, but many other countries.
Is that a leak? What is that black spot at the bottom of the screen?
Many people are not able to manage their condition. And I also hope that by making
Is that a leak? I think that's a leak.
videos like this, that changes as well.
Ugh.
And I hope to be an advocate for that to change, because it's frankly ridiculous that our healthcare system will pay for gastric bypass, will pay for a knee replacement, will pay for vein surgery, when they literally could just treat the root problem, which is lipedema.
They could treat the root problem, which is lipid. No, the root problem is your diet. The root problem is your diet. You're going to have more lipedema, Anna. Anna doesn't seem to understand that you're not born with lipedema. It develops over time, and you're going to get more lipedema, Anna. The rest of the fat on your body is going to turn into lipedema because you're going to keep getting fatter. The government cannot solve lipedema with liposuction. That's not going to work. It's not working for you. You're the proof. You're just getting bigger. You haven't lost any weight. And it's just so absurd that she believes that the solution is we need more funding to buy more liposuction for people. That's the problem. The government's wasting time buying people, helping people to lose weight, buying them things like gastric surgery so they can lose weight. No, that's a waste of time. What they really need is more liposuction so they can be just like Anna. And
So there's a lot of things I'm sure I didn't answer. And if you have any questions, leave them down below, and I will be talking about this throughout my surgery, so I can definitely answer them. But with that, guys, I'm done. I'll check you later. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And you know what? I was going to say peace, but I feel like that is super lame now. I'm over it. I've grown beyond the peace. So you know what? I'm just going to say have a nice day. Have a nice day.
All right. That was just so disgusting, right? And I'll tell you right now, I understand she doesn't want to hide the disgusting nature of the human body at times, but is that really something she needs to share? I don't know at this point. I don't even want to know. Yeah, agreed. All right, everybody. I think that's a perfect time to end it for the evening. I think this has been a pretty fun show tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me put on my little bit of music, and I'm going to say goodnight and see you folks out and see if I can send you off somewhere. You know what? I don't see either Skinny Queen or Hannibal on right now, so I think I'm just going to sign off. And say goodnight, everybody. Hope you all had a fun time. Yeah, I get the same feeling, Nirvana. More surgery, more... Oh, thank you very much, Doris Saden. Hope you have a wonderful night yourself. Hope everybody here has a fantastic evening. Oh, let me a few more comments here. Yes, good night, Nirvana. Good night. Oh, Hannibal is live. Okay, let me send you over to Hannibal then. I didn't see him. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Okay, let me get the link. I missed that. All right. Let me post the link in the chat. All right, here you go, folks. I will see you over at Hannibal's. All right, good night, everybody. Good night. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. You were a fantastic audience. Oh, and thank you to anybody watching the replay. Very much appreciated. Good night, everybody.